like double up. Yeah. Double like double up. The money I color. Double like double up. The money I color. 2 turns of 4 turns of 8. Sleep and get paid. Rich when I wait. I bet the bank. I set the pace. Guess what I make? That's what I make. Counting pockets, that's a trending topic. You got this and you got that, but got no spending options. I keep quiet, but still get it rocking. I keep quiet with it in my pocket. I keep quiet, moving stuff for silent. Double like double up. The money I color. Double like double up. The money I color. I swear God been blessing me. You think you been testing me? Throw me lemons, watch lemon squeeze. Pieces been my recipe. You buy watch and bust them down. Mine is my investment piece. Heard your mixes, drown it out. You need to call Trevor, please. I don't fold, I don't fear. Pearly whites, no veneers. Keep it clean, check it's clear. Water clear, P is clear. See the light, you go dear. See the light, I go near. Let me shine, watch me shine. I'ma shine, vision clear. Double like double up. The money I color. Double like double up. The money I color.
Hello everyone, how are we? Welcome. Bonus stream time. Bonus stream on a Tuesday, and we all know why it's a bonus stream, because well, it all went a bit weird last night, didn't it, to be honest? I know Waverberry's in. Waverberry wants a bit of an update. We'll give you the update, Waverberry. We'll plot the whole save for you. What I will do right now, though, is I'm going to remind everyone who was here last night or wasn't here last night. We almost got sacked, and the club refused to give us a new contract. We were expected to finish in the playoffs. We just avoided the relegation playoffs, so technically a playoffs of sort. They turned us down. They said no new contract. Portsmouth didn't want to offer us a job. And then with a game to go, East Fife said, "Tell you what, Jambo, how's about you continue the good work you've been doing at the club?" And we went, "That sounds like a brilliant idea. So let's agree contracts. Let's sign on the dotted line. We're in for another season. It's time to sack off all of those players who got us into this trouble this season. We are doing the bonus squad planning session, which is going to take place tonight, and it may even spill into tomorrow night as well. Let's just get to it, shall we?" So welcome, of course, everybody, as we are. Here we go. This is where we are. So Waverberry, we're not making Jambo a thing, sorry, Rogie. It's a nickname I had previously back in the day, which I know obviously has Hearts connotations. We're definitely not doing that. I just got carried away with myself, to be honest. So I should have just went with TJ, shouldn't I? Really? I've already fucked it up. Even my own introduction, I don't really know how to introduce myself. But here we are, Waverberry. This is what we have, okay? Story so far. The plan itself is that we're doing a British Steel Challenge, okay? So the idea being you're meant to attempt to win or every single trophy that's available in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. This is for everyone else who's brand new to the stream, by the way. We have to try and win every single trophy in England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. That's 35 trophies to win. At the minute, we have won 8, okay? So I can show you what 8 we've actually done so far. So this is where we are in terms of our current progress, okay? That is the amount of trophies we've won, okay? So as you can see, Northern Ireland, better than everywhere else so far. Nothing in Scotland as of yet. We obviously need to update that to change League One to red as well in Scotland. What we also have, though, and this is a new little screen for today, is this. The story so far. So here we go. This also tells you who we've managed and what we've won at those clubs. Because to say 8 trophies and 35, it sort of goes, come on, you've not done really much, to be honest. But when you look at it like that, the only club we didn't manage to achieve anything with so far was Portadown. And yes, we haven't achieved anything so far with East Fife, but that's not to say that we won't achieve something with East Fife. Looking at everyone else, 2 trophies with Banbridge, 1 with Dungannon, 2 with Linfield, 3 with Oxford. I mean, to be fair, it's not a bad trophy haul, to be honest. And as you say, Waverberry, a fifth of the way through. We reckoned we could do this in about 50 seasons, so I think we're probably about on track, to be honest. Right, this is where the season finished. Okay, East Fife finishing 39 points. Not good, to be honest. For Nige likes the new screen. Appreciate that. Thank you, Nige. I thought, you know what, because I've noticed that people have been asking for this as we're going through, and I'm like, maybe I'll just do a graphic of like the teams we've been at, and then it sort of gives it a bit more context. So I thought about that. So here is what we're going to do tonight, right? The plan is we're going to go through this collection of footballers that we have. We're going to make our minds on what we're going to keep, who we're going to get rid of, more importantly, what we're going after, because Raggio put this very eloquently last night. We've kind of stepped away from my DNA of what I like my footballers to be. I like them to have determination. I like them to have teamwork. I like them to be have high work rate. I like them to be fit. And I think we look around here, there's a lot of players that I've bought that maybe don't quite fit that DNA matrix. And I think we maybe have to just strip it all back. We'll look at the players. We'll look at the tactic again as well. Of course, that's going to have to be improved for next year because it didn't work, to be honest, really. We thought we fixed it, then it didn't really work. So we'll pull that out as well. As Dan FM Gamer says, we'll continue every hour, maybe, if that, possibly. But this is obviously massively important. So rather than do this tomorrow night as the normal stream, we'll think, right, let's just get it again and have it as a bit of a bonus. We'll sit down, we'll strip it all out. We've got the pens and papers at the ready because that's obviously what we do. We do have a squad planner, but I like a bit of pen and paper to see as well. And Llama's in the house also, who's going to help us go through this with well, not even a fine-tooth comb, a scythe, I think is what we're going to have to go with, to be honest, to get stuff sorted here, because it just hasn't really worked. There's no other way to describe it. Like, Scotland has once again given me the horrible heebie-jeebies. And look, we need to fix it. A15 reckons a 4-3-1-2 or a 3-5-2. At the minute, I'm open to anything, to be honest. So let's go through the players first of all. Let's see what we've got. We already released a couple yesterday that are going to be going. The season that has literally just ended. That's the command. Appreciate you, Llama. I was trying to work out what's the Llama command. So here's where we are. Right, goalkeepers. Okay, as we write it down. So Blessing. Okay, as apologies for just smashing that straight away there. Blessing is already leaving. Right. Already leaving. Mua, really enjoy watching me on the playoffs panel. Thank you very much. Mua. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Hope you find yourself nice and comfortable. Come and join us. Come and hang out. So Blessing is off to QPR, right? So we've already got a goalkeeper that we can't have. Milos Russ, welcome in. Apparently Haaland's doing a great time tonight by all accounts at Man City. So we'll feel free to keep us up to date with real football scores as well. That could be quite handy. Obviously, chat away. If you're brand new to the channel, let us know who you support. Let us know more importantly, let me know who you're managing, because people say let me know who you support, like as if that sort of defines people and stuff. And we're not a football channel per se. We don't sort of have football bants or whatever like that. So just let us know who you're managing. Let us know the kind of saves you like. Come and join the Discord. That's going to be important as well. And obviously, be ready, because tomorrow is the Football Manager show. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that, because it should be a good one tomorrow night. And if you've got any questions as well for the pod, let me know. Pop some questions in the chat and we'll try and forward them to SI if we can do. Lam, I don't think the shape of the tactic is the key. It's designing something that doesn't have contradictions. Decide your style of play, assign the players to suit it. There'll be no stopping you. I understand that, Llama, because we'll come back. I get distracted easily, right? We went back to a couple of things last night, right? And this is the problem, okay? Llama fixed our 4-4-2 here, right? It was working pretty well. Then for some reason, it fell off the cliff. I think I brought an extra player in, and I think I unbalanced the setup. And then eventually we sort of like restructured it to a 4-4-1-1-2-2, which is kind of like what we did at Oxford. And then we had these 5 at the back systems, which we thought played better than the scorelines suggested. And that's how we've got it right now, but it's not quite what the Sheffield Wednesday formation was. I've actually gone and checked my Wednesday formation, which is a little bit different, to be honest. It is, I don't think it's that one. What have I been playing? I've been playing this one. All right, that's sort of where I'm at the minute. Let's go back to the Bristol save again. Great pre-season, lost the first game. Portsmouth with a 3-5-2 with overlapping wide centre halves, and Bradford with a 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. There you go. So there's some options. I think what we need to do, Lama's kind of right. Like, pick how we're going to play and then try and work around it. So we're League One. Okay, we're League One in Scotland. I think. Keep it simple. We had a 4-4-2 at Banbridge, which was a 4-4-2 low block. Okay? And it worked. We took that system into Portadown. It didn't quite work. Ironically, we had better players, but ironically, it didn't work. Evening, Viva. How are you? Welcome. Lovely to see you as always. Pleasure to have you in. So it didn't work at Portadown. We went to Dungannon. I think we played a 4-3-3, I believe, at Dungannon. That didn't work at all. That was just, we were in there too short to make anything, really. We sort of turned and went, let's just throw this at him. I think that's kind of how they were playing when we turned up. We thought, right, let's just get the trophy and get out, essentially. Linfield, we went 4-2-3-1 gegenpress and won the league. That might say something. Oxford, we went with this new system. At Oxford, we went with this 4-4-1-1, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. It was flying for us. We even had these two players playing very deep. We had the shadow striker. We then moved it into a 4-4-2, and it was when we went to that, just rocked it. Absolutely rocked it. We had the right players. And I wonder, bonsoir, Sebastian. Ça va? Could we? He didn't play last season. Is there any possibility we could get him? It's unlikely. It's unlikely he's going to want to sign for us. Seb shows up and Tony turns at the bloody Duolingo owl. Yeah. I mean, Aguero in this league could be deadly. Could be absolutely deadly. What we're lacking for this sort of system, if we play like this, is it's going to be a long list of things we're lacking. We're lacking pace on the wings. We're lacking dynamism in midfield. Someone who can either put their foot on the ball and control the game, or someone who can be the shadow striker and be a bit creative, get the ball, make things happen. We've got Sean Macbeth, who, to all intents and purposes, should be brilliant, but I just think he doesn't really want to play for us. And I think sometimes good players just don't fit in teams, and I think that maybe we move him out. We look to cash in if possible. I mean, Falkirk are potentially interested. So if someone comes in, then great. Let's see what's what. We've got money, so it's not like we need the money, but we need to make sure that the players we've got on the pitch are the right players on the pitch. I think that someone like McBride has been great. He's been really, really great. He's here for another season, so that's really important. We sort of build the team, at least build the attack around him, to be honest. 32 games played, 12 goals, 5 assists. He was the guy. He was the outlet. He was creating everything. But even then, he's still got 6.77, Like, that's how bad the rest of the team were playing, that even though he was playing brilliantly, the fact he's in a shit team means his performance is dropping. Okay? So let's look at this then. Okay, I'm going to write this down. Okay, so we're lacking dynamism. We're lacking someone to put their foot on the ball. Creativity. And pace, right? So that's the outfield. Okay? That's our offensive issues. So basically all the offense was the problem. Defensively, we had one major issue that shone brighter than anything, I think. And it's epitomised by this guy. And he got called out. He got called out several times on last night's stream. This guy's concentration cost us so many times. Okay? So concentration at the back. The interesting thing, however, is his concentration is pretty good. So there must be something else that's wrong with it. Oh yeah, there it is. Anticipation. Right? So I think in defence, it's concentration, but it's maybe anticipation more. Because then obviously they're looking for when the ball comes over the top. He was always caught under it. He's 6'7". He's got jumping reach of 18. Theoretically, everything should work. However, poor marking, poor heading. So again, there was those concerns there. So maybe we sort of like pull him back and he becomes a backup player. You know, sometimes feel you sign too many players that never get near the team. Oh, 100%, Nigel. I was about to get to that. That was going to be my next point as well. Because I take the blame. I think that we'll finish diagnosing the team and then we'll work out why some problems happen, because that I think is how January hit. I think I brought too many players in without really knowing where they were going to go. And that's a problem. And I can prove that as well. Hands up, who's been sat in the game today trying to work this one out. This guy. I had a little bit of time. I was just like, right, I'm gonna have a quick little look at this. There's some things that I've noticed, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look good. So high defensive line can be an issue. But the thing is, we've got a high defensive line, and we used to have it as drop off. So we used to theoretically would start here, or you're high, but you're always going to be going backwards whenever there's a goal kick or whatever. They're naturally going to step back. So for me, I was like, that's all right, but maybe we have to go to a standard line, drop back a little bit, or standard line and push up a little bit more. You know, maybe that's the thing. Drop back, but then push forward. But again, that's going to come with those anticipations, those concentrations, those marking, all those attributes that kind of like, play together. So I think that's our problem. I think dynamism in midfield, someone just to put their foot on the ball as well as the alternative, bit of creativity to start creating something, because again, we'll show you, we've got players who theoretically could do something. Bit of pace, and then in defence, better concentration, better anticipation, better marking. That's what I think is probably where we're looking for some of the issues. Okay, Nigel's right though. We signed too many players. Okay, and this is where the problem comes. Because if you look at this, right, I came in here. This is all my players that I brought in until September, right? So that's the summer transfer window. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. Of those players, Brandon Stewart came in on loan from Dundee, so we weren't paying for him. We thought, right, that's brilliant. Alan Knox, however, came in from Dundee, and we didn't play him because I brought him in. Anton Valkovic, appreciate the follow, very kind. Brought him in. I was like, oh, he's free. He's from Dundee. He's probably better than what we've got. Excellent. But then we ended up getting Blakey. I was like, Blakey's on a free. I've got to sign Blakey. And already I've just forgotten about what I've already done. Tried to crowbar Blakey in at the expense of potentially a better fullback. You know? So, also the problem with putting Blakey in is that we probably had a decent fullback anyway, and we had a winger who is probably a wing back. So, with a heavy heart, last night we clicked on release. So Blakey's leaving, right? Blakey's going 33. I think he was caught out too many times, and I think he's someone that has served us well in the past, right? And then brought him in and thought, oh, he's gonna be able to sort of continue that form. He's in a lower quality league. Surely he's gonna be fine. He was caught out too many times, so we're gonna let him go. Right, okay, Blakey's not the future. We have to look at what's gonna be next. Yeah. Nige, the last season were too cautious playing when he should have been on one of the top sides. Yeah, Yeah, there's that as well. There's a lot, like Llama's put it there, like a lot of contradictory stuff that we do. I'm like, oh, we're going to be this, we're going to be that, but then I don't sell that way. Or like, oh, we're going to be this, and then it just doesn't happen. Like Donald McDonald, we signed. He started out all right. He started fine, but then I don't know whether he went off the ball or I don't know whether I thought he was the right player. Chaz Dan, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. How are we? Loved the FM playoffs this week. First time I've watched it. Oh, mate, like, if you enjoyed it, thank you very much. Obviously, do make sure you watch some more of them because they're great fun. They're really, really good fun to be part of. DJ Swan's in with a follow as well. Thank you for that, Swans. It was awesome. If you've not seen it, go back and watch the VOD as well. Very, very good. Like McDonald, we actually paid money for McDonald. And now I'm like sort of going, he's going to be out of contract in the summer. What do we do? What do we do with him? I think we sort of like looked at where we go, and it's like, I had ideas because I thought, well, maybe we'll bring this Oliver Jones in. He's going to play in that role, and quite frankly, he didn't play very well. So he is on loan, and we're certainly not going to look to continue anything on him, to be honest. Update on the challenge. So basically, Shaz, we've sort of, the quick fill in is this. We'll show you. We've won 8 trophies in 30 out of 35 in 11 seasons. Okay, so most of our stuff has been in Northern Ireland. We're currently in East Fife in Scotland, League One. This, however, is where we've been so far. So Banbridge 2 trophies, Portadown nothing, 1 at Dungannon, 2 at Linfield, 3 at Oxford, and unfortunately East Fife nothing at present. Ottoland de Brock, welcome in. Where was it? Yeah, this Oliver Jones. Yeah, he's not going to be playing for us, to be honest. Grimmer looked okay. Grimmer seemed to do all right, but like he was fine. He was fine at right back. He looked brilliant. Then we moved him to centre half, and he was like, okay, but he's versatile. He's got another year left in his contract, so maybe we'll keep him. He could be a handy player to have in the dressing room. Hello, Sports Mad. Welcome in, pal. Dennis McWilliam. I probably should have played him more, if I'm honest. I played Webster because, as part of the agreement, Aberdeen wanted us to play him as a striker, but I was like, he's better as a winger. So I kept trying to like sort of phase him in, pull Webster out, phase in McWilliam, you know. He sort of has what we need. His crossing's not brilliant. His dribbling's good, though. First touch is good. His off the ball's good. His determination's good. He's quick. He should have been. He should have worked handy. He hasn't, you know, so that's fine. Not a problem. That's probably on me, to be honest. We've signed Tony Ross, who, again, could possibly do the same thing down that right-hand side. Young lad, bit of potential. Maybe he could do something. Dribbling's good. Determination's good. Acceleration's good. Just passing's not great. Vision's not great. So there's a few sort of like things that, again, maybe aren't quite there. He is 20. We could maybe get him out on loan again, try and do some stuff with him. Adam Steele, we brought in as a fullback again. No, it's the problem. Trying to work out these players that we brought in that just either didn't get the team or we didn't. Someone better came around afterwards. I wasn't doing as much due diligence as I probably would have should have done. Markin's taking a drop, tackling's taking a drop, heading's dreadful even for a fullback. Acceleration's good though, anticipation's good. He could still be here for another season. His work rate's not good though, and his position's not good. So that's, again, is a bit of a concern, really. Harrison, of course, we've just had a look back. Archie Green, like this guy should be made for this league. Look at those mentals. Mentals are brilliant. Technicals, I mean, that's where we're letting down. Tackling's not great. Marking's not great. His bravery's not very good for a player we want to get his foot stuck in and start winning the ball back. He just didn't have it. 6.58 came in. He's getting a lot of money as well, 575 quid. He's one of the top earners at the club, and he didn't bring it. Like, there's going to be big questions on him next season. Andy Caddy, goalkeeper, came in basically because we had such ridiculous luck with goalkeepers. Even then, I'm not 100% sure he was the right fit, but it was just like, get someone in to replace the 2 goalkeepers we got that weren't doing very well. Roman Burrell, we signed him, didn't really play him. Didn't really play him. We signed him, forgot the deadline had already passed, and it was like, oh, okay, now what? So he turned up, and then it was just like, oh, okay, well, we'll try and stick him every now and again, but I didn't put him in the team, as you say. Didn't put him in the team. We signed Max Rowell on loan from Dundee United. He did all right, 4 goals in 11 games, not too shabby. But again, there was moments he was missing shots and missing chances. But your team that's in a relegation battle, of course, he's going to miss chances. Callum Hendry came in from Alloa. Did fine for us, to be honest. He did fine. He got his goal, which is all right. He turned up. It was an important goal as well for a point. But again, he's 35 years old. He's got a contract next season. Like, maybe we stick him in there. Maybe we sort of like, try and give him a staff role or something. But he's 35 in Scotland League One. Maybe he could still fit here, be a playmaker, do something. His attributes look like they're fine. Pace, of course, is nothing. Strength's nothing. Max Woodcock, he looks like he could be a handy player. Played him out wide. He was drifting inside a little bit, but we were sort of square peg round hole with him, because when we signed him, his initial setup was inverted wingers. We didn't play with one, so we sort of put him in there to try and be like, right, there's an inverted winger, play like that, because we got to obviously what we wanted with, like, just play players in their natural positions. And again, it wasn't quite working. The balance wasn't quite there with the team, I don't think. And then we got Mungo. I mean, I think Mungo was good, but then also Mungo was bad. Like, 6.82, he sort of did things well, but then again, it's just 13 jumping reach, good, marking good, passing, tackling good, positioning decent, leadership good, heading fine, anticipation good. See, compared to Hamilton, decision making is a bit poor. He gave away a couple of penalties, but I mean, again, these are things we need to look at. So that's the players we brought in. So you're right, it's a lot of players. Right? So let's have a look at the squad then. Okay, let's see what we've got. So Blessing's going. We know that. Yeah. Corey Armour is out of contract as well this summer. I mean, I think we probably need a new goalkeeper. If we can get one, we need a new goalkeeper. So he wants to leave. He looking at exploring his options. That's fine for me. So I'm happy to release him as well. Okay, so that's both of our former first teamers going. Andy Addy stays for now, but hopefully we can move him back to the backup goalkeeper. Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to be able to move Caddy to the backup. Okay. Jordan O'Neill, theoretically a half decent centre back for us. He's got a contract till next season, so I suppose technically he stays for now. But he stays unless someone comes in and bids for him, because acceleration is not very good. Marking could be better. I mean, to be fair, if we give him a bit of confidence, he might actually be okay, because he's got good work rate, he's got good teamwork, his heading's fine, his composure's good, his anticipation's good. If we get a bit of belief around him, actually bring in a more experienced centre half to nurture him, maybe we need to do that. Maybe I need to start looking at these nurturing pools and stuff. Like, maybe we need to start that. So let's put O'Neill as a needs help. Right, and he does have another contract, so he's got one more year left in his contract. Release all those going now. Give you a clear picture when they're not being seen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. We're doing that now, so they'll leave like at the end of the month. So, did you set up mentoring groups? No, I didn't. I think that might be part of the problem. So we'll look at that. Right, Mungo was on loan, so I don't think Mungo's going to be. I mean, he could be an option. He's 5k, you're loving. Oh, Crystal Palace, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's awesome. I mean, would Mungo come? Maybe. could try. We could try. Adam Steele, he's there for another season. Who's my favourite Malawian player of all time? Haggle, that's a question. That's a question. I don't know. Who's your favourite Malawian player of all time? Lamy, you seem to enjoy the rebuild after a disappointing season. You've got a glint in your eye and a spring in your step. I think I like the problem-solving aspect of it, Lamy, because I think, like, this is where I sort of, in my eyes, I think, right, this is how I can sort of prove that I know what I'm talking about. And I don't know if that means that I do, but I'm not sure, you know? So Steele stays for now. Okay. But he becomes the backup, I think. Maybe he can play. Let's see. Put him as a question mark. Tactical Nerd, is that Tony Jameson? It is indeed. Welcome in. I think that's Keith, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's Keith. Tyler McCafferty, I think we've already released. He's going 26. 6'4". He sort of had bits and pieces that could have been used, but he's we have to be ruthless now. If you're 2.5 stars, then you go. Steele's eyebrows. Work rate not great. Concentration's good though. Heading's not great. Marking's not great. Soz. Time to go. I'm afraid McCafferty. Brandon Stewart goes back to Dundee. So he's obviously going to go. McCafferty is gone. Blakey gone. Bye Blakey. Lewis Colton. Now he's an interesting one. He is technically a decent fullback. He technically hates us. He has angered several members of the team because I haven't treated him well. He is out of contract. I am tempted to kick him out purely for the fact that he is angry, and that might potentially ease the dressing room. That's what I'm thinking. He could be good, but it's time for him to go. Game gone. Grimmer stays for another season, unless someone comes in for him. Don't feel like they're in for him. Grimmer back up. This is absolute scribbles on my pad today. My handwriting's gone to shit. Danny Spencer. What do we do with Danny Spencer? Okay, everyone who's been in the stream and seen this season, where does this guy play? Where does he play? When we first joined, he was an attacking winger, and it was like he's the star player, he's the best player at the club. Then it was like, oh, maybe he's a winger. Then he was like, oh, I'm a fullback, and then he doesn't quite work out where he is. Runs with the ball down the left, gets forward, plays no through balls, knocks the ball past the opponent. Like, is he jack of all trades, master of none? 100% Zeep, 100%. He's the backup left back. Seismic attitude, I'd play him as a left winger just for his pace. Well, I mean, this is the thing. He's he stays. He's apparently the star player. The pace there, the crossing is. I mean, his crossing's 10. Bazza Bright, appreciate the follow. Like in this league, that's fine. Bravery's fine. Determination's good. Reminds me of Owen Beck, but not as good. Technique's dreadful. Passing's dreadful. First touch is dreadful. That's the problem. Is he better as a wing back? Anticipation poor, positioning poor, off the ball poor. It's like, here's what I called him. Do you remember when I called him Theo Walcott of East Fife? Not a million miles. Remember when I called him Adama Traore and went, he's quick, but he doesn't quite know what he's allowed to do? I think he's that. his positioning's a little weak for a fullback though, Lama. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Spencer. But he's definitely not. He's definitely not our wide midfielder now. So we have to put a player in there, I think. I'm not saying he's a good fullback either. Yeah, all right, yeah, fair enough. He's on another year contract. He's got another year, so we can find something to do with him during the course of the season. Massive spots right inside my nose there. He's Antonio Valencia. Gets down the line quick, but won't play it forward. Just plays it back. Maybe because he was a winger, so he's maybe moving further back. I see Ashley Young used to be quite good, so that's not it either, is it? Lawrence Harrison. I think we get rid of Harrison. Do you think? He's all jumping reach and aggression. That anticipation, that composure, the head in the marking, they were all problems for me. They were all problems. And I think we have to let him go. I think I was dazzled by 6'7". He's not quite there. He's not quite there as a fullback either, to be honest. Because that anticipation would do him out. It wouldn't be the worst to move him out to left back, but he'd be a backup. Doesn't he score from corners? No goals. No goals. So yeah, the fact that he's massive doesn't even add that either. So I think we put him on the list. May not react to being transfer listed. Well, that's one of those things, isn't it? Alan Knox is obviously going to go back because he's on loan. Connor Allen, I mean, technically he's one of our best centre halves. Good concentration, good anticipation, good jumping reach. Heading's not great, it's only an 8. Marking's good, positioning's good, tackling's fine. He is wanted by our Broth, who are in the Championship. Can we get him to sign another year's contract? I think that's, for me, I think we try. You know, I think we try. What's he thinking? Well, that's good that he wants it. Right, let's do it. Important player. Let's make him that. We could probably have made him less, but it's 150. He wants 200. We'll show you how much money we've got as well, but because we've got quite a bit of cash to spend. Right, so Alan's locked in. Alan's going to stay. Brogan Walls. If I'm being honest, through balls over the top are a bit of a concern, Nigel, right? But if we're playing a 3, then, or if we play a low line, then he's not going to be as much of an issue with the heading. Or we train a bit more heading, possibly. Walls has been fine. He is also closing in on the appearance record at the club as well, so I kind of feel obliged to keep him a little bit. But we need to work out centre midfielder and attack. We've been playing him all kinds of places. We've played him as a DLP, we've played him as a Volante. So there's some areas you can play. You can play some positions in the midfield, which is fine. So again, composure's good, work rate's okay, teamwork could probably be a little bit better. His fitness is fine. Low on the line, the high press. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Technique. So he's got something. Plus he's got another year in his contract as well, so he can stay. Archie Green. Do we keep? Do we move off? Is he? Theoretically, in a 3-man midfield, Archie Green should be fine. You should have Walls in there to sort of be your standard midfielder. This guy should be out there destroying things. But look at this. Ball winning midfielder and defend with flair of 17. Like, I don't get it. Are we not feeling him, no? Is it the lack of tackling and marking that's the problem. Because everything else, I think he's got. Look, anticipation, he's got it. Aggression, he's got it. Concentration, maybe not so much. Positioning and teamwork, yes. Work rate, yes. Pace, stamina, strength. If you want someone in the engine, I think he's got that. But again, I think he maybe needs someone else around him to help him do that dirty work. Lack of footballing ability is a hindrance. Hear me out on this one. He's not quite Chevron. Of course he's not. But remember, we fell in love with Chevron for that very same reason. He had everything. Bar the fact he'd never seen a football before. Physical specimen, but had never played the game. For me, he's got another year in the contract. Let's see what he can do. He might not be a first team starter, but I think if we don't get another midfielder in, I think he's okay. I just think we need to find a way for him and Walls to play together. Really. Webster's already gone, by the way. We've cut Webster. Absolute shit show of a player. I know he's the club captain, but nah. Silly red card towards the back end of the season. He's been here for a while. We've just cut ties with him and he's gone. Like, nah, he's away. Donald McDonald, he's out of contract. Sort of got what we need just about, but again, positioning, work rate, technique, determination, decision making, first touch, balance. I sort of think he can do I think he can do something. I think if we can get something in there. The name is Donald McDonald. Yeah. Like, plus we paid money for him. We can't just chop everybody out, to be honest, can we? If you want us to be a fringe player, that's fine. 230 quid. Down from 325. Okay, right. So he's actually taken a wage cut as well. So, okay. McDonald's a team player. Right. Big season incoming. Leon Charnley. Okay. Hear me out. How would this look? Let's see if it's right. Does this start to make a bit of sense? Where is he? Green? That's green, yeah. That across the midfield. Charlie's a box to box, isn't he, rather than a ball winner? Does that give a bit of something? That's our old formation from odds last year. Remember that? You think Charlie needs experience? See, because I think when he came in, he was actually one of our brighter sparks. And I wonder whether we just give him a game. He's raw. I don't know. I quite like him. He's at least a year or two development away. I mean, he's only 20. He's only 20, well, that's to remember. But he's wanted by Falkirk. So, teams are looking at him, thinking, okay, maybe there's a player in there. He definitely stays. But I wonder whether that's a thing, that maybe that sort of system could be an option. Oliver Jones, of course, is going. McWilliam is going. Callum Hendry. Can we... Where do we play? Do we make him an enganche? Because could Hendry play there in that playmaker role, that attacking midfield role? Probably. Doesn't really have the pace or anything. 200 quid is a lot of money. But he's got good teamwork. He's got good work rate. He's got good technique. decent first touch. He's brave. He is past it, but perfectionist is a good trait to have. I wonder. I'm going to put a question mark here, Hendry, because I wonder whether he can help some youngsters. I understand that maybe it's a thing where he's like 35 years old. What's he going to offer us? But could we play him as a DLP actually? His passing's 11, his vision's 10. It's not dreadful. Obviously, doesn't need pace. Decision making might be a little bit on the wane. Just wondering, could he be at the bottom? Could he be at the base? Could we make him a quarterback? You know? Could he pick a pass? It's worth a look at. He might save us some money. He might be an extra player. Back up forward in a narrow tactic. Because I think Max Woodcock definitely stays. I've got for Hendry, I've got DLP question mark, target forward question mark, Enganche question mark, AMC question mark. Just, I think he's the. I think he might be a little sneaky player, Hendry. Woodcock's the guy. Can he run the line on his own? Anticipation of 8. Composure of 13. Good. We know composure is a valued attribute this year. Finishing of 12. So that theoretically he should get in the box, do decent stuff. Off the ball's good. His vision's not brilliant. Cuts in from the left wing, so we could play him out wide. So we need to work out, is he a forward? Is he a wide player? You know, what are we playing? Could he be that number 10 actually? Could he be the guy who picks the ball up in this sort of system? Could he sit here and run? Or do we play him as part of a 2? You know? What did the team win the league play? Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. A15. We're still going through which players we're keeping and which ones we're bidding off at the minute. So we'll get to that in a second. But McBride definitely stays as well. Absolutely, he stays. No questions asked. Derek Mackay. What are we thinking? Work rate's not good. He only played a handful of games. He did score. Shadow striker apparently. Poacher apparently. Played out the left apparently. 25 years old. Is he good enough? Really? I don't think he is he? Evening, Franco. How are you, pal? That work rate. If we're looking for work rate and teamwork, he's not got it. Gone. The Scottish striker. What do we do? What do we do with the Scottish striker? He's got 2 years left on his contract, so he's not going anywhere. He doesn't have a buyout clause. That value is not reflective. I think we can get more money for him. Can we make a player out of him? Anticipation's not brilliant, but his off the ball's good, his work rate's good, his finishing's good, his composure's okay. 4 goals last season. Yeah, this is just like through the first bit. Nige, don't worry. There's only bits of the first bit, then we'll go, because the squad's too big anyway, so we're literally going through, getting rid of the players we can get rid of, then we'll come back and we'll be like, right, now, you know, we have to go a bit more. You know, Burrell, there was already a mention of Burrell potentially being retrained as a winger, which I quite like, to be honest. Was that 4 goals down to him or you? Ooh, there's an ethical question, isn't it? There's an ethical question. Have I made him only score 4 goals? Possibly. Burrell could retrain as a winger, maybe. Bailey Calamari, we've already cut. He's just not going to make it either, to be honest. So he's gone. And Max Rowell. Right, so let's see. Can we actually get these people gone, to be honest? We're not paying the extra few quid. Greetings, Titan Die. Thank you for fun this weekend. You and the lads introduced me to the likes of United City and Hood. Perfect. They're brilliant. They're brilliant people to check out. Thank you very much for coming in as well. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So thank you so much for that. And of course, as I say, check out loads and loads of people and see what you've got. And might be some favourites. Burrell's a winger or a box to box. I mean, that would be an interesting change for him, wouldn't it? Taking him from a striker to a box to box midfielder. He's not got the stamina for that, really, though, to be honest. I think if you're going to be running up and down, then yeah, stamina needs to be a little bit higher. But he's definitely got something different than a striker, I think, to be honest. But he's pressing forward and defend, which we do quite like, to be honest. Titan Die, I didn't know playoffs existed until this Thursday during the draft. Love it. Well, welcome in. Do make sure you keep your eyes peeled for more, to be honest, because there is going to be more. So how can we get these hidden? Right. How can we hide them? Because we don't really want them to be shown, do we? Can I right click on them? Is that a thing? Squad, just move to. That's not going to do it, is it? Do you do the draft tournament every 4 to 6 weeks or something? Sort of, yeah. Sort of. There's a... Right, so if I click that, so then if I click under 18s, that looks like it brings players out. Here's the thing. Oh, I'm trying to... So I've actually got players that I'm trying to release. It might be part of this, though. Is it not a club? No. My first playoffs too, says Broad Sis. Very much enjoyed it. Hope you'll be involved in the next one. Yeah, well, I'll be involved in terms of hosting because that's my that's the way that I do it. But yeah, I don't do I don't really partake in the is that the little one coughing? Yeah, can you hear that coming through, Wilco? Yeah, ridiculous, isn't it? Can it just move in the teens? I thought so, but they're just not having any of it. No, yeah, so you don't. Doesn't change for some reason. He insists on staying out there, but then if I click on that, 475 quid, I don't want to see that. So right, let's have a look actually very quickly, see if there's anybody here that's just popped up on the potential list. Goalkeeper from the area. Little one's just had the virus. Yeah, ours have had it before. Ours have had COVID before. They've had chest infections and stuff. Just constantly ill. They had chicken pox the last couple of weeks as well, so that's obviously also been part of the concern. But yeah, at the minute, I think they've got a bit of asthma as well, because I mean that would make sense. I've got asthma, so it would probably be ring true, to be honest. Rushing out 12. No, thank you. Michael McDonald. Oh, you could go with Donald McDonald. Get an entire team of McDonald's. He's not really got enough though, has he? Although 6'1", he's got jumping reach. That's about it. Work rate looks fine. Passing and tackling, and that's all a bit rubbish. Zach Mackay. Steve McDonald, yeah. Trevor McDonald in, to be honest. Old McDonald, yeah. Zach Mackay as a fullback. Marking's not brilliant. Anticipation's not brilliant. Positioning's not brilliant. I asked the other lads a question earlier. Who's your favourite striker in FM? DJ Pedro. Actually, no, it's not. Well, it could have been DJ Pedro, but it could well be this guy, Aguero, who we're going to try and sign again as well. Let's put you on the shortlist for a potential. You might not be what we want, but you might be. Alex Hurley, is he a better goalkeeper than what we've currently got? Eccentricity 13. Distribution, aerial, shot stopping, all worse than Caddy though. See, so just on the eye test, Caddy's all right, isn't it? Eccentricity 13, we don't want that. Caddy's got a better aerial reach. Caddy's better at handling, and he's better at kicking, and he's better at one-on-ones, and he's better at throwing. He's more of a leader. He's better positioning. So all of a sudden, we're just like, there's Hurley looking good, and we're just like, oh, hang on. Actually, no, he's not actually as good as what you've got. But he's more agile, a lot more agile. So, I mean, as a backup, he's an option for a backup. But then that's two goalkeepers that aren't quite good enough to be the first choice. Mitchell Morrison, left back, centre half possibly. Jumping reach, anticipation, bravery, concentration, positioning, marking, heading. Acceleration's not great. Marks opponents tightly, moves the ball to his left foot before dribbling. Teamwork's not brilliant. What do we think? Post the Celtic Youth and Rangers products. Oh, 100%. 100% we're going to do that as well. We did have one of the best squads in the league. They can't all be shite. Yeah. I mean, that was the media, those are. Like, the media are never right, really, are they? Mitchell Morrison, what are we thinking? Good concentration, good bravery. Anticipation's fine. Jumping reach is fine. Marking, work rate. Centre back. Okay. We'll have him as a possibility. Liam Sinclair, no. Just instantly just look at, no. Right. the classics. 90s food and do a line, right? Right. Give me a page though. Fruit salads, that'll be the one. 276. Hopefully it's not a page we've already had. Oh, this might be something. Describing it now, she says it was an instant, intense pain which then faded for a while. During that phase, she felt completely numb. Imagine her fear as she lay in the dirt at the mercy of her own imagination. But by the time the ambulance came, the pain was building up again. She had the shakes, real heavy shaking, which made the pain even worse. We'd read this one the other day. We've read this. Right, next page. This is about his wife when she falls off the horse. Thought that rang a bell. Right, let's have another one. Give us another page. Do we do the page where she fell off the horse? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what we're thinking. So that's the bit. 222. I should have kept a count, shouldn't I, of which ones we've done. As England manager, you don't want to be losing any friends. It's also a joy to work for Ericsson because his ideas about the game are easy to understand. He doesn't overcomplicate things to make himself sound clever, and I'm not one for over-elaboration. No shit, Michael. Football is a relatively straightforward game. As we prepared for our opening game against Sweden on the 2nd of June, he mostly stuck with a tried and tested 4-4-2 formation. "90% of teams at home played 4-4-2, and it is Ericsson's favourite system. Everyone knew his job. I've never felt pessimistic in an England shirt. I've always been encouraged by the quality of the players around me. In an England press conference, you can never say, we're happy just to have qualified, because people expect a much greater level of ambition. But I try to be honest about the quality of teams I'm in. I've played in Liverpool sides where I've thought we weren't good enough to win the Premier League. I'm a realist. Yeah, I've gone into every international tournament with England, believing we could go all the way." Again, I think we've potentially read that, but it's a reminder of a 4-4-2, isn't it? It's a little reminder just to say, hey, everyone loves a 4-4-2, including Michael Owen and Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen? Sven-Goran Eriksson. Christian Eriksen likes a 4-4-2 as well. What a load of shit. It's a long off season. Let's look for first team regular stars first before we start getting the maybes and the bench warmers. 100%, Nigel, 100%. Right, we need to get a tactic as well. What are we thinking? How do we want to play it? Like, because, I mean, I think that we could potentially give that system a go. Ball winning midfielder, box-to-box midfielder. Fullbacks coming inside might give us a bit of a extra bodies in midfield, but two strikers up top, shadow striker just behind. It's a nice bit of creativity there. Gets us rolling. That's a maybe. You know, or do we just go simple, agricultural, 4-4-2, keep it as it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, just nothing silly. Just get the ball, lump it up to a big man, and then hope that it drops down. Bang, goal. I guess what we have to look at, okay, is think, right, what sort of players are we keeping? So Caddy's staying, okay? We don't really have a right back. Centre back would be Allen, and at the minute O'Neill, but I'm not saying he's the starter. We don't have a left back, okay? If the players doesn't straight away hit, you're a definite starter. Stick him on the shortlist to move on. Exactly. So ball in the midfielder, we're looking at Green. DLP, I thought was Brogan, and then Charnley out wide. We could, of course, have McDonald there if needs be. AMC, well, Brogan could even play there. Possibly, you could play McBride in that role, maybe. Woodcock there, maybe. Up top, Woodcock and McBride. For now. So that's sort of what we got in terms of a potential. If you don't buy any more players right now, we've got, what's that, 7 players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players that could theoretically work for us. So that's maybe a thing. Are we overcomplicating it for the players? Maybe. I mean, a lot of this is, we can obviously take this off. You know, are we not better to do with a DM rather than an AMC? In which bit here? Well, that's the thing with that role. You could easily put it like that, and you can have, he could then go as a midfielder and attack, and DM there. Would that give you something? Is that maybe an option? 4-3-3, slower tempo. See, I think we were getting overrun in the midfield. That's the problem. And I think that if we're going to have 3-3-3, a 4-3-3, then it's going to mean there's just not enough. We haven't. And look, we wrote it down earlier. Dynamism. Someone to put the foot on the ball. Bit of creativity. Some pace. That's what we're lacking in midfield. And I think going to a 4-3-3, at this point we lose that, because unless we have a really creative three in the middle, for example, if we go to this, no, not that, not that. How did I have it? I had it like that, didn't I? That, for example, you know, I mean, that's sort of like we're relying on a lot here. So maybe. I know what you mean about not playing our defence, but we maybe need to strip things back a bit. You know, shouldn't the width come from the fullbacks in the middle three? What with this here? I suppose you then have Woodcock on that side, McBride on that side, but then again we need to score goals, and I think we can't really work with just one forward, to be honest. 5-3-2, switch between DM and AM depending on how the games are going. How good are the sentinel defenders on the ball? Not very. He's a 2.5-star ball playing defender. He's got good concentration. His passing's not brilliant. His vision's not great. So yeah, maybe we don't. Maybe we play out of formation, to be honest. Put fullbacks on attack. Can maybe put that as a wing back on attack, actually. Well, again, bear in mind, so the roles right now, Wilco, remember the roles were built for a team that had specific players that could play in that thing. So again, we'll tweak it. We might end up with somebody who can play as a ball playing defender. We just don't know. It would be ridiculous if we could imagine that, but you never know. You know. So let's think about that. If we're looking for whip crosses and overlaps, and sort of seems to slightly contradict as well. So maybe we sort of take those off, possibly. So, I mean, what is that a possibility, or should we look into the transfer market and work out what's available at this point? Because this is a list of players that we're not going to be using, really. That's a lot in it. Old Donald's there. So we could put... He's not really a DM though, is he? Deep line playmaker. We sort of then have some bits of players who are going to move around. That, to be honest, doesn't look too bad with what we've got right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we had to go in with our team, fit the tactic of the players we have as pre-season comes round. Yeah. Right. Let's have a quick little look then at some players that are available. Okay. So Brough we've already had a quick look at as a goalkeeper, who's from the area, but I think is actually not quite as good as Addy. More eccentric, better communication though. Slightly more brave, slightly less determined, more agile, but again, not much between them. It's bizarre to realise just that Caddy actually might not be a bad goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, it's really bizarre to be sort of sat here going, we need a new goalkeeper. Oh, actually, he might actually be decent. Michael McDonald. We've had a look at him. We've had a look at him already. Mackay. All right, these are the guys obviously that pulled through. We had a quick look at Luca Cavalera. I mean, the scouts are suggesting 2.5. Buy the best that's available really later. Yeah. I think there's got to be a change. Again, he's just... Caddy's actually decent. Well, either Caddy's decent or all the goalkeepers that we can see aren't actually very good. That's the potential. This guy's got better vision though, so he could actually clear the ball. If he could get the ball out, he'd be great, but he can't. His kicking or his throwing's not actually as good. So, no. Again, we move on. Hurley again's a backup, possibly. Ryan one. Right, okay. We looked at all these guys then, so... Right, let's pull the... So, defender. Expiring in 1 month. Let's see who's available, shall we? Or who's interested. Nothing like going around the block with Tony. Well, look. This is just how we do it. How does everyone else do it? That's the thing. Like, is this not what we do? Why'd you put my weight on the attributes of the star rating? I've seen players with great attributes with low star rating and vice versa. The star rating is just in reference to your own team, to be honest. So I sort of ignore the star rating, to be honest, because it's based on your staff's ability as well. And if your staff aren't particularly good, or your staff aren't, they've not got 20 for player judging ability and potential, then they're going to be wrong, aren't they? So there's also a load of factors in there as well. I mean, look, for example, we've got Danny Spencer. They're saying he's a 3.5 star player, 4-star potential, but he didn't play very good for us last season. Harrison, potential of a 4-star player, didn't do very good last season. So I take it all with a pinch of salt. I think that there's players that we've seen who've got dreadful attributes and have played above their standards. Like we had Soup when we were at in Dungannon, scoring goals, and he had like 6 for finishing. Played him as a pressing forward on defend, and it just worked. So I think you have to take everything with a pinch of salt. There's a bit of sort of like, right, I've seen a similar player like this before work in a similar way, but some of it's just trusting your own judgment. Sorry, can you check Mbappe's current club? Could, but I'm guessing he's probably at PSG. There you go. Jumping reach, tackling, positioning, determination. Potentially a player there then. Robertson, maybe. Actually, will he trial him maybe? Duncan Wright. Again, we've also got to think that there's going to be players that are going to become available from clubs who are just going to cut players out. Kieran Caradus. Crossing and dribbling, not very good as for a fullback though either. Also, as well, not great as a centre half. Maybe. Anticipation 12, jumping reach 15, heading 9, marking 12. I mean, he's wanted by Kelty Hearts, who've been relegated or are going to be relegated, so maybe not the one, but okay, maybe not. Zach Mackay, Darren Watson. I mean, a centre forward and right back. I like it, but you know, I also put fair emphasis on performance ratings in previous seasons. Look for strikers who score, playmakers who assist. Exactly, Laclosian, exactly. Like, you want to be able to sort of like see are these players actually decent. Like, we could do a full stats thing on it, and that'd be great. But I mean, some of it's going to be absolute guesswork given the fact that it's Scottish League One. You know, just because someone's getting a decent rating, you then have to look at what league they're playing in, like who they're playing against regularly. Adam Morris. Both footed. Fullback. Marking's not good. Positioning's good though. He can obviously get through. I know we don't need a backup player, but maybe a backup player. Morris is terrible. Is that him there? Yeah. Do you reckon? Yeah, no acceleration, granted, but just as a standard backup fullback. I mean, look, I understand, right? Renford Raspberry's at Crewe, so we're not going to get him at the minute, although he is out of contract. £1,700. But look again, see, some people would say finishing as 1 to 6, that's not brilliant, but we played him out wide, he was great. He's not interested. Damn you, Renford Raspberry. He is still on the shortlist, I think, though. She should be, yeah. Dow Strawberry. Currently at Morecambe. On loan from Oxford. He's starting to develop, maybe. Might not be a bad idea. Still on the shortlist. Rogi's obviously not going to come to us, so that's he's wanted by Borough. Guru's not going to come either, is he? For that ridiculous contract he's on, £3,000. No chance. Do you have to change that from 1 month to 3 months? Will that make more? There we go. That's better. Now there's some players on there. I was just like, what are we doing? There's like, you know, only one player available to look at. That can't be right, surely. Well, to be fair, it's not exactly giving us much more once we've moved out to 3. Mitchell Morrison. See, so here's the thing. If we go based on what the staff are saying, the staff are saying that Mitchell Morrison is an absolute get. And you could argue that if there's 2 clubs in the Championship who are wanting him, Arbroath finished 8th, Queen's Park finished 3rd, Forfar finished 4th. Previously, he's only played 12 games last season. Played 5 games this season, so he's not really performing. He's been at Ayr. What's his stats like? Who is saying he's an A? Well, this thing, it's my scouts, so I wouldn't necessarily say my scouts are correct at this point, but I'm just saying if you were to look at that based on that information all and going, oh, he must be brilliant, right? Then, do you know what I mean? Like, and people do get swayed by that very easily. We've all done it. We've all been swayed easily. So that's the thing. Let's see if he'll come in for a trial. Who came through the youth intake? Oh, the youth intake was dreadful. So bad. So bad. How good the judging ability. The judging ability for our scouts. Graham Murty's got 15 for potential and 11 for ability. Paddy Barker, we're going to have to get rid of and get a new one, actually. So let's terminate his contract. Get a new chief scout in. Neil Young is 9 and 9. And Scott Smith 9 and 9. So I think Murty needs to have the overall say, to be honest, in what we can have. Let's get a new physio in there as well. Yeah, good for the level. Good for the level, and that's that's all we can hope for at this point. At this point, is someone who's good for our level. We're not going to get the best scouts, the best coaches, but if we can get someone who's decent enough for our level, then that's what we want. And I think ultimately we probably just need to let Graham Murty have the final say. Let him be the guy. Maybe we try and use him actually for his negotiation skills aren't particularly brilliant, I don't think, but we can maybe sort of look at that and be like, right, what do you reckon? Not really much there. Reese Holden, 28. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll ask him for suggestions as well. I'm just literally trying to do everything I can do first, and then going to the right. I've done my bit. What have you guys got? Like, what can you come up with that I don't know? I think that's a reasonable way of doing it. Say, right, I've tried my best. What have you got? Again, they're saying terrific signing, but he just doesn't look like he's better than what we've got. Chris Craddock, what have you got? Have you got anything that we can say is better than Caddy? I love these rebuilds, really go deep and not leave any stone unturned. Well, yeah, we can't, to be honest, because we massively fucked up this last season. Mozalad, welcome in, appreciate the follow. I think we have to. I think because of how last season went. Evening, Nico, how are you? Have we hit continue? I think we hit it by accident earlier on, Dan, so sorry if we have. We shouldn't have done, by the way, we shouldn't have done. This is why I thought we'd do this as a bonus, because imagine if this was Wednesday's stream, and you'd be like, great, nothing's happened, we can roll on for another week. So, Andy's so much better the goalkeeper than we gave him credit for. Yeah, maybe he's just, took a bit of time to adapt, had a bad defence in front of him. Everyone we're looking at, he's as good as. You look at that guy, he'd straight away be going, this is brilliant, this player's fantastic, but he's not much better. And he's going to cost us more money as well. Nico, I'm good. How are we? Still going with East Fife. Still trying. It's we're in our end of season debrief, which means that we basically get the pens and papers out. When we hit continue about 3 times in the stream, and then we go, maybe tomorrow we'll do something, because it was all very raw last night. So I thought, right, strike while the iron's hot, get straight back in, have a look at everything, and go, right, what can we fix, and more importantly, what can we not fix? Yeah, because there might be some stuff that's just beyond our abilities to fix. So, we might have to be like, right, doesn't work for us. Ashley Owen, for example, he looks good. He does look good, actually. How's Mrs. J with the extra show? Oh, she actively encouraged it. She was like, yeah, get yourself on there. You need to go and sort this one out. That's what I like about Mrs. J. Like, she's properly like on board with it. She's like, yeah, we know what you have to do. So that's centre backs that have been offered. Suggested right backs. I'm just looking for right backs to buy as well at this point. Kalani Barton, I've started one. I got a job offer at the bottom of the lowest league in Wales. It's seriously hard beginning. Oh, yeah. That, to be fair, that was our other option. Like, if we were going to get sacked, we were like, do we go to Wales? Or do we try something else? Reece Hall at Oxford. Not a player we signed. But if he's an Oxford boy, then maybe it'd be worth for us. Get out of her hair for a few hours. Exactly. She's more than happy with that. Nicole Burton. See that. Joshua Squires. Max Martin. Doesn't strike me so far. Matthew Lee doesn't strike me. I've got these players to buy as well, so theoretically you'd think that they'd chuck some money in. Claudio Azzurro. What's the scouting range at the minute? That'll change in the next couple of days, to be honest, when we actually click on the next thing. Can I request a 12-hour stream, maybe themed? I mean, you can request it, but whether we do it or not, I mean, they're quite labour intensive. What theme would you like, Wilco? Harry Titchmarsh. What about that? Scott York at Hull. Wants to move for a bigger challenge. I mean, I'm not entirely sure that a move to Oxford is a bigger challenge. Look at William Rees. Remember when we signed him? Superheroes. What would superheroes be, though? How would you do a superhero stream? So I should point out, I don't watch superhero movies, so that could make that one quite tricky. Is Charlie Dimmock about to keep Titchmarsh company? Probably we could make that happen. David Hughes at Man U. I mean, I'm narcissistic enough to think that just because they play for Man U in the game, they'll be good enough for us easily. Right, that's the director of football suggestions done. Gilchrist is sacked, therefore search starts for head physio now, which means we can also start looking for a chief scout. There's only one superhero, that's Tony. You're too kind. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong, but you are absolutely kind. Right, Mark Winter's coming on trial. David Hughes is coming on trial. William Rees has snubbed us. I mean, we'll see about that, because we kept our eyes on you. It doesn't want to come. Let's Put on the shortlist just in case, though, because maybe Nico Burton's rejected the option as well. Fine. Maybe no theme, just a fun packed 12 hours. That could be the theme. The theme could be fun. Reese Hall's rejected. Ewan Henderson's come in. Right. Oh. Okay. Potential. So we're going off some of the suggestions that's come in from Graham Murky at this point. So Mark Winter, star player apparently, according to, they're suggesting he's decent. We'll know a little bit more once they've been here for a couple of weeks as to how good they actually are. David Hughes, again, we don't know a great deal so far, but decent technique. Dylan Robertson doesn't look much better than what we've got so far, but we'll find out. Mitchell Morrison, we say we're not convinced. There's a lot of people not convinced in the chat, but the staff seem to like Mitchell Morrison. Just saying. Raggio says he knows, he can see why people like him. Ashley Owen might be a thing. Titch Marsh, we'll see. Henderson, backup player. Let's decline that. Let's move through. Is it the end of May that the clubs release their players? It is, isn't it? In Scotland. I mean, do we need to go back into the squad planner, because the squad planner is just going to be empty, really, isn't it? It's just going to be literally this season is going to be nobody in there. I mean, do we think Mungo Bridge is an option? Would we try and bring Mungo back in? Seems an interesting one, doesn't it? Certain enough for Morrison a trial, there might be something there. Yeah, well, he's on trial now, and the club are already going, he seems all right, this guy. So we'll see what happens. Initial budgets, transfer budget's gone down to 90 grand. So we've lost some budget. Okay, it's not the end of the world. We've actually gained followers despite a dreadful season as well, which is quite interesting. Seasonal data. Under pressure all the way. Actually, people are asking what the teams played who got promoted, who won the league, are we? Ayr United 4-3-3. Neo Costa was a player we liked. Out of contract as well. Inverness played a 4-2-3-1. Hamilton played a 3-4-3 or a 5-2-3, I suppose. Depending on how you want to look at it. Forfar played again the same 3-5-3 a 3-5 5-2-3 sorry. Nisbet's been getting goals, hasn't he? A lot of 3 at the back. There is. See, again, we're talking here about looking at attributes. This guy's got 4 for finishing, but for the last 2 seasons, 19 goals this season. Last season, he got 15 goals in the league for Forfa. Season before, he got 4. So, is he hitting a hot streak? He's out of contract as well. He's not even playing. They're not even playing him, and he's getting goals left, right, and centre. So, odd. Right, so next season, reach the playoffs. Okay, fine. Play solid football. Okay, this is what we need to look at as well. Right, defensively solid. Counter-attacking. Direct. I mean, that sounds a lot like low block football to me, doesn't it? Really? So, do we start that then? Do we sit and counter-attack? But then that means we also have to have a system that we can be a bit more sort of aggressive for when we think we can actually sort of take control of the game. We're going to need a system that way we can sort of step up, and maybe not even a system, but just like a sort of a philosophy. We can just sort of change some rules, whatever. They won't care if you're in the league. Yeah, true. I mean, here's the damning facts. We can take our chances. We're good at heading, apparently. We can take a penalty. The keepers are decent handlers of the ball. They can kick the ball long. There's a strong work ethic in this squad. I find that hard to believe. There's a general, players possess long throws, good stamina, there's good balance. We've got some good room. Spencer's good. Macbeth's good. Off the ball's fine. We can attack. We're a threat from corners. We work hard. We're brave. We're aggressive. 19 of 53 assists have come from crosses. Yeah, decent. But we lack first touch. We could do with more depth defensively. Right back, centre back, defensive midfield. Kind of where we thought we needed a bit, to be honest. Quality depth outside the first team. We're not really very agile. We lack natural fitness. We don't have much composure. Then we concede 19 from 60 assists have come from crosses. So there are concerns. In terms of the league, this is where we are, right? Slightly older. That's fine. Ian Zames, how are you, buddy? Welcome in. Good to see you. Big shout for Zims Miller, by the way. If you're not following Zims, make it happen. Mozzalad as well. Obviously, you're already in there. Following. Hello, Josh Daly. Welcome in. Nice to see you too. Hope life is treating you good. So, age-wise, we're okay. Height-wise, we're okay. We've still got the big lads. We've got the heaviest squad in the league. I don't know whether that's good or not. Sorry, second heaviest squad in the league, I should say. Sorry. Then obviously break it down. Here's where we start getting concerns, right? Goalkeepers, they don't kick very well. I mean, for all Addy's good, according to the league average, he's not very good. In fact, he's really quite poor. He's the worst at handling in the league, apparently. He's the second worst in terms of aerial reach. He's the worst in terms of commanding his area. So look at all these keepers we've looked at, being like, oh, they're not as good as Addy. Imagine how bad they must be compared to that. Actually, there we go. Now I can actually read it properly. Take all that out of the way. Actually, Addy's brilliant. Now we've taken everything out. He is the best handler in the league. He's the best at one-on-ones, and he's the best at throwing. Shit. Right, it swings round completely now. Okay. Right, we've got the best goalkeeper. We need some defenders then who can play. Defenders, let's have a look. So theoretically, if we take strikers out of this, we only look at defensive midfield, we've got the best tacklers in the league, we've got the best jumping reach, we've got the best marking, the best positioning, second best strength, third best pace, third best acceleration, third best heading. How are we third bottom? How? What the hell have we done? Like, we must have been like, yeah, the system's just been awful, and I've fucked the tactic completely. I've got too many players. I don't know who my best 11 are. To be honest, fair, like, reasonably, you know, we should be doing okay. We could do with a bit of vision, which is what I said. We lack a bit of creativity in the midfield, right? So vision's an issue. A little bit of dynamism. Where's the? We're lacking technique, so yeah, that would make sense. Where's dynamism? So we want a bit of pace, don't we? So that sort of physical side of things. Evening, Rostino. Welcome, Clarky. Appreciate the raid. Very, very kind indeed. How are you? Welcome in. How was the stream? Hope it was a good one. Where are we up to tonight? Are you FMing? I think it looks like FMing, doesn't it? Yeah, I'd imagine so. With a name like Clarky FM. But yeah, who are you managing, Clarky? What's the stream as at the minute? This is where, see, pace, no pace, acceleration, not so much. Off the ball, anticipation. This is what we need. Bit more like sort of oomph from people. No agility, fitness. Like, this is slowing us down a bit. Good jumping reach though. I mean, look, on paper this is a decent squad. Flair, bit better technicals. First touch, yeah. Free kick taken, fine. Crossing, nah. Technique, bad. I can't believe how we've ruined it, to be honest. Oh yeah, team full of emerging talent. That could be it. Bad manager is the reason, to be honest. Bad manager. Sim to year 4, took up a Brighton after they got relegated, just back to the Premier League. Oh, nice. Good stuff. How's you finding it? We've just we're doing the British Steel Challenge, which is 35 trophies to win. So you have to win everything in England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. And we've recently just joined East Fife last season, and we had a dreadful time of it. This is the story so far, though, in terms of where we've been. So we started off unemployed, no badges, no experience, none of that. Won 2 things at Banbridge, so we got promoted from the 3rd division. We won the cup as well, one of the league cups. Nothing at Portadown. We won another cup at Dungannon. We then went to Linfield, won 2 trophies over there. Won the league, won another cup. Then came across to Oxford, did quite a few big things there. We got promoted into the Football League. We then got promoted in League 2 into League 1 as well. Won the FA Trophy. Then we came here. And then we came here. Right. This is interesting that Graham Murty's starting to get involved in the scouting, because Graham Murty has judging potential of 15, judging playability of 11. So I'm tempted to take what he says a little bit more seriously. So Darren Hamilton, 17-year-old midfielder, on loan from St Mirren, deep line playmaker, good first touch, good passing, okay vision, not brilliant. Decent positioning, decent decision making, decent anticipation. Work rate's not brilliant, to be honest. One for the future, possibly. Shortlisted already. Okay. Could be an option. Grant McCulloch, Queen of the South. 18 years old. from Dundee, 5'8". What are we thinking? Striker here, dribbling 13, finishing 12, off the ball 15, determination 14, work rate 15, technique, stamina, acceleration. This is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we want. Right, Grant McCulloch. Now we're talking. Already on the shortlist as well. Okay. So we need some reminders to be getting these sorts of players in. He should score a hatful at this level. He should. Cammy Hamby. This is a Dumbarton lad, isn't it? Young lad. I don't think we go for him just yet. So it's fine. Jamie Heenan. Again, we're not really got the stuff to be a winger, I don't think. Not really got the stuff to be a fullback either, to be honest. Positioning. 3. Yeah, he's going to get caught out a little bit, unfortunately. Mark Simpson, we looked at last year as well. Again, another St Mirren player. Could be handy for a loan, mind. He could be our number 10. Although, dribbling of 10, passing of 15, vision of 10, leadership of 16, flair. So this is what you got, Zar. So Graham Murty is technically our director of football. He's bringing us these reports, these players that he's been looking at. So I think that if he's bringing these players to our attention, then these are ones that we need to look at. David Duncan, 3 assists in 31 appearances. I mean, 20 off the bench though, as a substitute in the reserves. He's played 1 game competitively for St Mirren. The rest of it was Celtic B. So he's played Celtic B, 14 assists in 34, 8 assists in 32 the season before, 2 assists in 4 in his debut season. So actually, when you start to go back to where he's played, I mean, his career stats is 24 assists in 73 games. That's much better, isn't it? Now, when you look at it like that, that's a lot better. So he could be an option. David Duncan as well. Jumping reach 12, heading 10, positioning 13, teamwork 15, anticipation 10. Oh, Graham Murty's doing us a thing. Centre back. Are we thinking? He's free. He's out of contract, I should say, sorry. Is this the guy? Concentration, jumping reach, positioning, work rate, tackling, marking, heading, anticipation. He only played 7 games last season for Morton. I mean, 36 games had done Fairman in the season before that. He could be alright, actually. 24. Star player. How much are they wanting for him? Let's move you down to important, actually. Important first team player. What's he on? 375. Wants too much money. Yeah, no worries, Clarky. Appreciate the raid, man. Very kind. As we say, my chat, if you can drop Clarky a follow, that'd be much appreciated. Right, let's walk away from Duncan just now, because that's quite big. £1,000. Let's hold off. Okay. He was nice to look at. He was nice to look at for a little bit, wasn't he? It was, imagine how good it would be to have a player like that. So, okay, right, I'm going to make a note of these guys then. Right. What are we saying with Hamilton then? Are we thinking that the fact that he's got no work rate, is that going to be a concern? Off the ball, 8. Positioning, 13. Teamwork's only an 8. DLP, question mark. Going to put a question mark on him. McCulloch, I think, is a definite, yeah? striker. Yeah. Shortlist, wait till release, trial. Yeah. These guys have all got contracts for next season, so they're not going to be released, but these are players we can possibly loan in, I think. And then David Duncan is going to be available. So, right, so let's keep our eyes on them then. So, Dan FM, if you're interested, we are clicking continue. We are moving forward. Yeah, loan potential for McCulloch, definitely. Right, Connor Allen's locked in another deal, another year. That's good. Struan McCaddy from Dundee. Theoretically, we might be able to get him because of the link up we've got with Dundee, but I don't really know where we play him. I think he's more of a winger for me. His vision's not great. Off the ball's not brilliant. Struan McCaddy? Yes, no, not sure. Needs to improve his crossing. Yeah, if he's gonna be a winger, then he definitely needs to improve his crossing. I mean, he's on the short list, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm not convinced either, to be honest. Peter Watt, attacking fullback. I'm more impressed by that. He looks very good. On loan from Hibs. So keep our eyes on him. Donald McDonald's got a new contract. There we go. Happy days. So, not too long until all of our players leave. Filter for on loan or trial. I was going to pick them there actually. Right, Ashley Owen, centre half. What about Grimsby and Fleetwood? Tackling good, marking good, positioning good, bravery, composure, concentration, anticipation, all good. Jumping reach, fine. Leadership, fine. Work rate, not very good. Acceleration, not very good. Is it a bit... Fairly professional. Capped under 19. Comparing with Allen. Poor technique, excellent. That's what we like. Another player who's got bad technique. Better defensively, better mentally, better attacking. Not quite as quick or as good in the air. So if we're worried about Allen in the air, he's not actually an upgrade. In fact, he is slightly better. Actually, let's go back to that. Yeah. One better heading. Much better tackling. 15 to 10, to be honest. Slightly more determined. Far braver. Much better composure. Positioning's actually worse. Much of a muchness, to be honest. Be okay if he was younger. He's 26. That's a good point. Yeah. Likes big matches though. Is that something? Because Connor Allen doesn't like them. Ashley Owen ? Yeah. Mark Winter. 6'1", 18. Determined. Anticipation's not good. Oh, I'm heightest as well, Rajo, don't worry. But we've got a 6'7" centre back who's crap. So maybe I need to do an opposites thing. Jumping reach 13, marking 12, technique 12, teamwork 14, leadership 12, work rate 11, determination, decisions, concentration. Anticipation is the only one that's lacking there. But, and I think the fact that he's up against, well, he's wanted by some clubs in England, could be a concern. Again, not as good defending as Connor Allen, but better in the air, quicker, better mentals, better technicals, better attacking, better vision. Better dribbler. We could have that ball playing centre half, like we said. 9 for passing, 12 for technique, 11 for heading. Much more determined, much better decision making. Aggressive. Works hard for the team. Comes in from Tottenham, left-footed. That gives us an option as well. Actually, I think we play with left-footers with Mungo and Harrison. Quick, consistent. Do we think he's going to be someone that would come to us? Should we try? What's the worst that can happen? He wants to be he wants to be a star player. He wants a lot of money. He doesn't want a lot of money. He only wants 325 quid. Do we put a release clause in him as well? Do we just say like £1 million release clause or whatever? Or do we just say, yeah, go for it? Remember, this is what happened with the Scottish striker. We were like, I can't believe that we've done that. And then there we are now going, where does he fit? Where's he fit? Mitchell Morrison. You won't be here for 3 years. You never know. You never know, Leclosian. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. We probably won't be, but we can sign him from someone else. Mitchell Morrison. Compare with left back Spencer, I suppose. So Spencer's just quicker. Yeah. Ariel's good in the air. Morrison's is better in the air. Better at defending. Better vision. So he's kind of the defensive player that we want, really. I think he's a fullback rather than a centre-back. Heading's fine. Marking's fine. Positioning's okay. Bravery's fine. Anticipation's decent. Concentration's decent. Work rate's decent. Just lacks a bit of pace for me, to be honest. Spencer's not the fullback. Spencer's a kind of... I think Spencer's a defensive winger. So he will track back, but I think he will... I don't quite think he gets forward enough. I think he's quick, but he doesn't know what to do with it when he gets there. Spencer is just quick. That's all he is. He's quick. I think Mitchell Morrison might have something. I think he might have something. Dylan Robertson, I don't think has something. Well, he has good jumping reach, and that's it. So we get rid of him. Find out how much Morrison wants. Harry Titchmarsh. Nah, he's not really got it for me. Ewan Henderson's no, just a very quick no. Not even spending too much time on that one. David Hughes, no. The Manchester United thing isn't enough, I'm afraid. Right, let's see what Morrison wants, because we did get rid of all of our left backs essentially. He wants to play at centre back, but we'll see. Regular starter, 350. Maybe 300 quid then. So 300 quid for Winter and Morrison. That's potentially very good business. Potentially. In theory. Kelty Hearts have been relegated. They'll not be happy about that, will they? Just got to make sure that we don't get relegated next season, because otherwise we're done for. Queen's Park have come in now. Now we dropped our bid to 300 quid. And I wonder whether or not we move it up a bit. Oh. That's fine, it's not going to work anyway. Shame. Cammy Logan's someone that we want, actually. What do you think? Should we try and say, like, hey, do you fancy an extra few quid? There's no harm, is there? Give him that 350. Derek Golobeck as a... No, we don't need to do that. But the Kelty Heart striker that kept scoring against us. That's a good shot. Let's have a look at that. So here's the youth setup, by the way. So Murray McDonald. There's another McDonald we've got in the youth setup. So there's someone there who looks relatively handy-ish. He might stay. David Bell's a fairly poor goalkeeper. Aaron Coffey might be all right, actually. Again, another defensive midfielder. So he could be someone possibly. Cairo Green. Maybe a number 10. Marco Andreoli. Canadian, Italian, Scottish. What a combination. He's got potential. 17 for teamwork, 13 for determination. Bravery's relatively high. Work rate's good. If he works his marking and his position, he could end up being a decent fullback. I think Connor Patterson, goalkeeper. Finley Duffy, striker who's not really doing too much. Who was that Kelty Heart striker? Let's see. Do you recognise the name? It wasn't Josh Dean, was it? Dead it. Actually, we should go on to the... That's fine. How's Colin getting on? Let's have a look. Dead it. Oh, Haygarth. That was him, 31-year-old. What do you think? Is he an option? He did score worldies against us, I must admit. What do we think? Trial him. Trial him. Colin Skink, where is he? There he is. He's still there. He's getting on all right, Raggio. He's maybe he's doing okay actually. Maybe. Remember as well, we've got a for now anyway, we've got a link up with Dundee still, so we might be able to still use their players. So at the minute we're not paying for a scouting package. £3,109 budget. So I'm guessing that means we can probably only scout our league, if that. Scotland for a month, then race to the UK. Can we do that, can we? Okay. Right, Haygarth's coming on trial. There we go. Let's decline that. Colin Skink's bubbling along nicely. Nice pun, nice pun. Do all that once we get towards the pre-season. We know who's actually who's actually still here. Dan Tolson. Early signs of someone decent. Need to learn a little bit more about him though before we can do anything with that. All these players, look at this. Oh, add Matthew Blake to everything. Would love to, but he's just been released, sadly. So I'm afraid it's not going to happen. We're going to have to get a whole bunch of set piece people as well for next season. So Jack Stretton, oh, he's already got a transfer. Go to Arbroath, so we can take him off the shortlist then because he's 31. Not going to use him, are we? Dominic McKinnon. Terrific signing according to who? According to Neil Young. Right now he's only got a 9 and 9. Now he's not played. He's been a substitute. So what is he terrific at? Because I'm thinking his passing's not very good. His anticipation's not very good. His work rate's not very good. So what's he good at? Oh yeah, he's quick. He's quick and he's determined and he's aggressive. But he can't tackle. There's just, I don't think he is. I don't think he's a good player, is he? He might be a good player for somebody else, but I don't think he's a good player for us. No. No. Jermaine McDonald. 6'4". Very determined. No off the balls. His first touch isn't brilliant, but he is. But let's be honest, he's quick and he's massive. Is that a combination that we want? Usually, yes. Determined personality as well. Likes Michael Carrick. James Bradley at Forest. Plymouth. I mean, needs to be more convincing if he takes long shots. Currently lacks intelligence to compete at higher levels. That's fine. We're not at the higher levels. Needs to be more consistent if he's developed further. Fine. Strength and stamina make him a decent athlete. He's an international player, so we've got that. Massive jumping reach. Oh, let's have a look at him. Let's have a look at he's a McDonald. I can't believe we're even considering this. He's a McDonald. He's out of contract though, so his wages might come down potentially. Okay, doesn't want us to come on trial then. Shortlist for now because he doesn't have much else other than being quick, to be honest. He's a potentially interesting player, but we'll see. Barry Hercules. I mean, I feel like he just has to be given a new deal just in case. Come on, Barry. Just sign another deal. Don't tell anybody I told you. Harrison has no business being transfer listed. I mean, we'll see. Right? We'll take him off the list, but he does need to remember that he needs to book his ideas up. Got players that have taken one DM to 3 clubs, even though they aren't really that good. Well, to be fair, we took him there because of the fact it's Mrs. J's new gen, isn't it? So he kind of has to follow along with us, to be honest. Whether he's good enough or not is almost irrelevant at this point. Brian Graham, a fullback from Hibs. Work rate could do with being a little bit better, but everything else seems fine. Composure, actually, maybe not so much. Marking's not great. Ewan Thane. Oh, we looked at this guy. Right. Again, am I being slightly blinded by people here and thinking that maybe, am I thinking too outside the box, thinking like, is this guy a number 10? Like a sort of, I know his work rate, ignore his work rate, which I shouldn't really do that, I shouldn't ignore that, and the vision as well is probably an issue. I think it's probably just off in it. Vision's not quite there. Dribbling's there. Anticipation's not really there. Mm. 5'6", jump reach of 1, playing in the middle. Well, he's playing in the middle in the sense of he's the little tricky, dare I say it, Lionel Messi Sergio Aguero's probably taller than you give him credit for as well, isn't it? He's a project player. He is a project player, but I don't know if we've got time for project players. That's the problem. I think I've got to kind of be a bit... Morrison's gone to Queen's Park. Understandable. Okay, so Morrison's gone. Can't get him. These trial players are going to be released. Derek Golobeck, Jack Smith. Acceleration of 6, pace of 6. You're not getting quicker at any point here. Ethan McLeod. Miles Green. No. Ross Reed. Nothing. Bradley Jeffries. Nothing. Winter's signed though. Winter is coming. Hearts have beaten Celtic in the in the Scottish Cup. So there you go. Right. Season review. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? It's not really. Disappointed with the deal at St. Henry. Happy with McDonald. That's good. Happy with Adam Steele. Happy enough with Mungo. Content with Charnley. Grimmer they were disappointed with. His wages are too high, 370. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Woodcock. They don't like Woodcock, 37 grand. Henry they don't like. Rowell they were happy with. Oliver Jones they weren't happy with. Burrell they weren't happy with. Caddy they love. Archie Green's fine. Harrison they're okay with. Blakey they don't like. I mean, this is the... This could be part of it, couldn't it? Macbeth they like. Bailey they don't like. So my dealings at the transfer market they're not massively happy with. Overall, they weren't very happy at all. Evening Rooney, how are you, my man? Welcome in. Hope you're good, buddy. Big shout out to Rooney there, by the way. Go and drop the boy a follow. It's going, Rooney. I think it's the best description. We've had an absolutely dreadful season. We actually had a player of the season, believe it or not. Broken Walls given the fans player of the year. Jordan O'Neill, young player of the year. Charnley for signing of the season. Max Rowell, goal of the season. Top scorer was McBride. Webster got the assist record. I don't understand how any of these players got anything, to be honest. What we will do is we'll save that as end of season 11. We'll save it as season 11 first of all, then end of season 11. Yeah. So we can get all of our data properly. West, there we go. Right. Okay, so Mark Winter's coming in. He could be alright. Season review. Let's not click the season review. Let's ignore it. Let's pretend it never happened. Let's move swiftly on. What I'm going to look at though, we go back to Hearts. Let's see if David Campbell is anywhere near interested in signing for us at this point yet. Because he's someone I've put my heart into. Still nothing. Need this guy. Survive with record low points haul. Oh dear. Noah Costa was the player of the season in the league for Ayr. Now, could he be a player of the season for us as well? Should we try and get him in? Scottish and Spanish. Celtic B's going to be released. He's wanted by everybody, so I don't... It's not a thing. Did you hear the Giants have signed Darren Waller? I saw that, actually, just before we were coming on. I saw that was a thing. So is it all done and dusted now? It was on Twitter, so I never fully go with what's in the Twitter sphere. But if it's done, Aaron Coffey looks fine, doesn't he? Traded a 3rd round pick. Yes, that's what I saw. 3rd round. I mean, Giants, they could build something this season. They could. If they can build on last year. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're sort of heading in the right direction. So, like, free agency is always really fun. Like, I know Inky was talking about it in the Discord. Like, I think it's sort of simple. I think it's his first season following the NFL, but it's there's a lot of fun stuff happens. And yeah, when you look at some of the trades that are going to happen and some of the moves that come out, you're just like, whoa, okay, that's come from nowhere. Like, you know, the guy that we've that the Niners have just signed as well is pretty very happy with that. To be honest, get a deal for Barkley would be huge. I mean, yeah, Barkley's a. I mean, he's what they need, isn't it? He's what they need. Do they go for OBJ again, as well? Is that a thing? Do they go backwards to that one? Not entirely sure. I think I'm like yourself, Franco. Yeah. Leave it as it is. Don't go back to Odell Beckham. Right. Can we improve the club's training facilities? Probably not. So I think this is going to be... Just ask. They probably can't get it, so... have a chat with the board, but I don't think they're going to be overly keen on investing, given the season we had last year. The fact they've given us a new deal is interesting, to be honest. This is interesting as well, actually, because we applied for this when we weren't entirely sure what was going on. We didn't think we were going to get anywhere with Livingston. Have we potentially... But this would be classic TJ, wouldn't it? Like, get to do this all night and then be like, oh yeah, now we'll have to go and join Livingston. What do we think? Should we go and have a chat, shall we? I'm tempted to. I think we stay. The closing says no harm in having a chat. That's all it is. It'd be rude not to hear them out. Exactly. They've come to us. You know, it's not like the St Mirren job's still available. St Mirren turned us down, remember? So we can't be getting that. Dundee job's available. We're not gonna win the league with Livingston. That's the thing. You know. We could at least be like, just see what their offices look like. You know, Phoenix Drilling Limited. You win out with Livingston. You win nothing with Livingston. I mean, yeah, you're right. We probably won't, and we are definitely. We should be in a better position to win something, or at least get promoted theoretically with East Fife. So you're right. I do agree. Concerning your lack of experience in managing in this country, I mean, maybe. Can you tell me why managing a number of clubs as you have done is a good thing? Well, that's football, isn't it? That's football. It'd be quite a change for you to leave a current job. Are you confident in the big jump? I can do big jumps. A certain malaise has crept into your squad. That was... We're talking about a different set of players. Are you able to explain how you've got into such a predicament with financial fair play in my career? Have we? Losing the backing of players. I mean, this is, to be fair, they're not really. Doesn't sound like they really want me, to be honest. They're just like, right, is there, this isn't very good, and this isn't very good. Oxford gossip travels far. Of course, yeah. That's right. There was the whole bloody issue with the financial fair play, wasn't there? Forgot about that. Let's just play that one down a little bit. This isn't a friendly chat. This is a character assassination. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. How about all these other things you've done? And what's this on your hard drive? What hard drive? Not entirely sure that. I think they were just sort of like just trying to get me down a bit, weren't they? So, yeah, let's just stop that right now. Right, nah, pack it in, you lot. Kieran Campbell. I've seen him a few times. Just like keeps popping up. I just can't get that work rate out of my head. Do you know what I mean? Like we haven't got space for show ponies. And ambitious as well, apparently. Nah. Not good enough. Jenkins Davies. Oh, there's a player we could have had. What a guy he would have been. There's Lewis Lloyd doing the business still. Right. I mean, we've done well. We're nearly at the end of May. It's taken us 2.5 hours, but we're almost at the end. We're almost progressed 3 weeks. Like the players we've got on trial haven't even finished their trials yet. That's where we are. St Johnstone hit a record points total. Right. East Fife takes speculation as silence is golden. Nice. However, they don't want us to. They don't want to improve the training facilities. That's fine. Adam Morris. Who's looked at him? Graham Murty. Right, now, some of you said before you weren't convinced. Crossing and dribbling aren't very good, though, are they? Not at all. Thought you were going quickly for a transfer stream. It feels quick, doesn't it? It feels quick. 4 weeks we've progressed. Let's, mark that one down. Calvin McKenna. Centre half. Anticipation 10, acceleration 8. Move on. Stuart Spark. He's got a tiny bit better work rate. Passing and vision's fine, actually. Acceleration's okay. Dictates tempo. He's only 10. He's only 20. Flair 19. Actually, that's a better player. That's a much better player. Attacking centre mid. Not interested on loan. Poor consistency. I mean, he's only 20. So what's his personality like? Balanced. It's worth keeping an eye on, I think. It's worth keeping an eye on. Right, loan deal's expiring. Stewart's going back to Dundee. McWilliams going back to Aberdeen. Cody Peat, there's a centre back we looked at last season. Probably not one we want this year, I don't think. Anticipation of 9. Positioning of 9, marking of 9. Work rate of 14 though. Austin Wilson. Oh, look at that. On loan from Hibs. Hibs doing all the bits, aren't they? Balanced. Right, a couple of players we need to go back and have a look at Hibs for, because they've got some players we need. Head physio, still keep that advert going. Ainsley O'Hare. Ross Robertson. We can't wait for him because I can't pronounce his name, so could be a concern right there. Is it the end? It's the end of May, isn't it? When Scottish players are released from their clubs, right? Livingston interview unsuccessful. That's fine. That's okay. Maurice Ross has taken over. Where did Maurice Ross come from then? Falkirk. Which means the Falkirk job's open now. Falkirk job's open. Everton job's open. It's fine. We've got a job to do here. Cameron Gray. Marking's not very good, is it? Sign him as a priority. Who's Graham Murty says he's the guy. Sign this lad as a priority. Oh, Premier League standard apparently. Must come from Southampton, that's why. 750, oof, lots of money though. 775 quid. We're shortlisting, but I can't see us getting them for the cheap. I'm starting to lose faith in Murty. Maybe. I mean, look, everyone makes mistakes, right? He's not necessarily wrong, but he's maybe not what we want. Let's put it that way. That can be the polite way of saying, I don't think he's for us at this point. Danny Jenkinson from Hartlepool. We've had decent luck with Hartlepool players, haven't we? Mentals look fine. Maybe lacking some things though. First touch, possibly. Passing's not brilliant. Teamwork's not great. Wants a lot of money as well. Reef Ralston. I keep looking at him because his mentals are great, but physically he's dreadful. And he's got no technicals. Jenkinson's a target man. He is, but then so's DJ Pedro. And I'm wondering whether DJ Pedro is someone we consider. Probably don't. Bradley Scully at Montrose. Again, mental's good. Physical's okay. Just lacks tackling for a box-to-box midfielder. He's got the stamina though. First touch isn't brilliant. Passing's very good though. Bradley Dorrington. Again, finishing not for me. Flair 14, composure 14, off the ball's only 11. 12 vision for a guy who's a deep line forward. Good jumping reach though. 16. Better in the air, better vision, better physically. Heading at 4. Yeah. He can get the ball, but that's about it. Gary Fleck, another fullback. Teamwork's not good. Moving swiftly on. McKinnon we've looked at. Stevie Gray. Inverness Cali. 25. DLF possibly. Comes deep for the ball. Plays with his back to goal. Target man. Jumping reach maybe not so much for target man, but off the ball's probably a little bit low as well. Fans could sing "Here's to you, Bradley Dorrington." They absolutely could. Absolutely could. I think Gray's got something about him. He could bring people into play. Decent bravery and anticipation. Yeah. Let's compare it to Bradley Dorrington, shall we? Better mentally, slightly quicker. Decent technicals. Dribbling's fine. Heading's much better than Dorrington's, obviously. Determined, brave. As you say, anticipation's good. Off the ball's not brilliant, but work rate's fine. Stevie Gray, 25. Strong, athletic, has good consistency. Ironically, the Dorrington they reckon is theoretically is a better player. Target man. We need a target man. Fringe player as well. That could be handy. 550. What do we think? That's quite high, isn't it? $550 is quite high for a backup player. Eccentricity, look at that. We don't want eccentricity on a goalkeeper at all. David Duncan we can't afford. Pierce Carroll, midfielder. Just a bit, meh. All right, not bad, not great. Work rate needs to be better, to be honest. Anticipation as well. Quinn Winiarski. Acceleration's not there. Everything else is, though. Heading, marking, tackling, positioning, work rate, determination, anticipation. Fullback. Literally fullback on defend. He's not getting forward. But he can do everything else, can't he? Have we even got a right back at the minute? Grimmer, I suppose, probably. Sam Trim, appreciate the follow there. That's very kind. Thank you very much. You're better than Adam Steele. Right, so Steele's quicker, but he's better mentally, defensively, in the air, technically, better vision. Not as physical. He's got everything in the technicals, though. That's better than Steele, isn't it? The only thing Steele's coming out on is he's quick. Bravery, anticipation. I mean, these are great attributes, let's be honest. Even at 26. 15s for determination, composure's 5, though. Physicals are shocking. They are. But is it shocking in comparison to our league, or injury prone is a concern as well? Tell you what, let's see if he'll come on trial, see what's what. But he might not be the guy. Quinn Dunlop. Rich Wood. He was on loan just before we turned up, to be honest, so vision's not brilliant. Dribbling's not great. Cavallero we know about. Zach Mackay we've looked at. Hurley we've looked at. Tane we think maybe, but then that's quite a big wage. Kevin Butter, John Roger. 1,300 quid. Brendan Muir. I mean, Campbell. Look, we love Campbell, but is he ever going to sign for us? Probably not. No. Look, can we at least talk about him in the press or something? See that, Lel. I'm putting all my eggs into one basket here. Liam Sinclair isn't good enough. Very, very cheap wages, but not really good enough. Abdulai. Markin's not great, is it? Pace isn't very good either. Billy Brash. Look at, what is it with all these players coming through who've got no work rate? Because with this sort of bits, you sort of think, right, fair enough, he could do okay. Anticipation, composure, flair, off the ball, leadership, passing, vision. Can we carry a player like this? I mean, he's called Billy Brash as well. I mean, that's, for me, that's a consideration, right? Lindsay Truesdale? So, bear with me 2 seconds. Determination 19. Under 19. Again, acceleration though, innit? Worth having brashed a pair of DM. Comes on with a crashing game. Okay. Composure of 9 again. Teamwork of 8. Not 100% convinced. Apparently I'm wrong, according to Graham Murty. Neither are particularly good at defending, are they? Marking's better, technique is much better, tackling's worse. Work rate's better, positioning's ever so slightly better. That determination and anticipation are very good, but the difference in speed. Tackles are good. But again, we look more for blocks than tackles, don't we? So, compensation, that's a concern as well. Right. Hang on 2 seconds.
Enough of the code switching. Been hitting my soul, been on the ropes. I'm ready to grow, so get to know niggas. Keep your head up, I want you to grow with me. See this gold on me, want you to glow with me. Yeah, alright, okay. We get it. No contest. Wait, see this gold on me. Surf's up, nigga. The world been dying, days is numbered, check the climate. I'm sick of it, fuck the harebrained scheme to get the riches quick. I played a long game with serene scene and the whip that's quick. From the back room to the hearts, I'm in the thick of it. I grind too hard for y'all not to see me a star, bitch. I'm raised in a bar like they really pay me. They talk my life been in shambles, but I got handles. I'm finishing at the rim. I remind you time and again that I'm really him. Oh, you ain't know? This shit not just for the show, but bet you entertain. Anybody not for me is below me. Blow me, you in the way. I live my dreams, I got it locked. The master keep it on me. Back in the field, running audibles with the team. Everything I got out the mud and told my truth. I shake that fake shit, they praise you, then minimize you behind you. Just know I notice you. Stay woke, no joke, it really be the ones you closest to. Had to stop sleeping on myself like I ain't know the truth. Oh, this to me like it's really nobody cold as this. And if you disagree, then you jaws and your claim get audited. Who you know do the beating and talking and write the harmonies. I'm really convinced there's nobody out here going hard as me. Wish well the dog that claim belief in me so he could use me. Look at me now, you chose your route, I know you sick to see it. You talk a lot, all that flop, but that shit not harming us. Capping your status, we back, ain't nobody raws us. To the ones that held me down for the count, look at what growth will do. I'm the kid from the cul-de-sac, feeling double sex with loot they pay to play my shit back. Ain't no way I'm going back until I'm fossil fuel to the flame, just like I'm supposed to do. Enough of the code switching, been hitting my soul, been on the ropes, I'm ready to grow, so get to know niggas. Keep your head up, I want you to grow with me. See this gold on me, want you to glow with me. Been hitting my soul, been on the ropes, I'm ready to grow, so get to know niggas. Keep your head up, I want you to grow with me. See this gold on me, want you to glow with me. I've been on a job, trying to take it far. I need that ROI, shit I done paid the cost. I'm all in on me, little baby she agree, she really been here through the fall. She the only thing I need. I wanna be free, I know that they want me for my ideas so they can line their pockets. Don't hit me to tell me that you give a fuck about me. You don't even know nothing about me, trying to force me on your timeline. You know you need to stop it, I live for more than attention. Might not be your trending topic, put my worth in analytics. I admit that took a toll, I got addicted to scrolling. We know well that get toxic, I got caught comparing me to people I don't even know. They say it's lonely at the top, well maybe then I'll focus on things that's more important. And let whoever think whatever and just keep it moving. These niggas won't work on themselves, they'd rather see you losing. You'll never see me losing. Enough of the code switching, been hitting my soul, been on the ropes, I'm ready to grow, so get to know niggas. Keep your head up, I want you to grow with me. See this gold on me.
Slight child waking up issue there. Think we've got him back down. Let's see. He's playing hardball. Stephen Gray, isn't he? $425? Is that about right, do we reckon? Or is that quite expensive? Not sure. Let's have a look at Winiarski on trial. Shall we see what we think? We'll have to have a look. Get Brash to pay with a DM. Let's have a look at Brash again, shall we? It's easy to do this for. Derek Brash, is it? It's a different Brash. Billy Brash. Might not be one we can get actually, because it looks like he's obviously under contract, so he might. Who was Derek Brash? Derek Brash was good, wasn't he? At Livingston, I think. Yeah, striker at Livingston. Sadly, we're not going to get him, are we? Oh. No, unfortunately not. Stephen Gray, what do we think? 500 quid for a target man? Is Stephen Gray going to be worth that money? Fairly loyal. Could struggle when faced with a shooting opportunity into the box. Scouts have watched. We've got 7.3 against the Dundee reserves and 6.5 against Clyde. Are you going to play with a target man? I guess that's the question, isn't it? Like, we haven't fully worked out the tactic just yet, have we? Let's have a look at what we've got so far in terms of our wage structure, because I don't want him to be the top earner, and that might be the problem. Well, he's not going to be the top earner. Archie Green is. Woodcock's on 400. Difficult, isn't it? Difficult. I mean, look, he's got some decent attributes, right? He's brave. He's got good anticipation. He's fit. He can dribble. He's strong. I say go. I'll give you an option, but probably around 50 quid too much. For the sake of 50 quid, look, we got him down to 425. He wanted 500. Let's go for it. It might be a little bit too much money, but if he gets us a goal, he gets us a goal. He might be able to change a game, possibly. He's obviously not going to be the only striker. He's not going to be the only player we bring, I should say, sorry. You know, if we compare him to, was it Jenkinson, was the other one, wasn't it, that we looked at? Dorrington, maybe. I might do inside forward, yeah. I mean, he's better in the air, he's quicker than Dorrington was. He's technically better. His heading's better than Dorrington's, believe it or not. And that 30 anticipation for me is what does it, really. And that's good. I know he's 25. He's not scored many goals. I mean, 7 in the league last season. 5 in the league the season before, but used as a substitute primarily. So he's not really had a run of games, which suggests that he's probably okay sat on the bench. Let's get some ball control training going in, shall we? Max Rowell is a free kick taker. Well, he's not even going to be there, so let's not waste our time with that. Max Rowell's left. Angus Cranacan might be leaving. Oof. Ray McGowan, Jack Hadjick. I mean, do we just release these players? Angus Cranacan I feel bad for, because I know that's the closing. That's your guy, isn't it? And McGowan goes. Jack Hadjick goes because he's not good enough. John Thackeray goes. Go Angus and see the world. Murray McDonald, 19 years old. We let him go, don't we? There's nothing there for him. Banbridge job's available again. We could. East Fife released 7 players. These are the players that have gone. Blakey, Colton, Bailey Cadamarteri, Gavin Webster, Derek Mackay. Yeah, go to Kirkcaldy, see the sights. Tony Ross is back. Like a brand new signing. And this is the thing, we've still got quite a large squad, even with players that have left. So, Olivier Jones, move him there. Mungo Bridge, let's move him into the under-18s for this moment in time. Just hello, are we, Ronald? How are we? Welcome. What's happening, pal? Are we well? Brandon as well, appreciate the follow-up. Apologies I didn't see you first. I was tending to a child. My own, obviously. They decided to wake up yet again. So there you go. Now we've got more of a squad. This is obviously where we're at. These guys will leave, apart from this fella, Mark Winter, who's going to come and join us in a month's time. Looking forward to seeing him join us. Winiarski is currently on trial. He's got all the mentals, but he's not good. Mitchell Morrison is leaving is going to Queen's Park, so put him in the reserves as well. Max Haygarth. Did we make a decision on Max Haygarth? Physically, he's not up to much, but it would stop him scoring against us if we sign him. Ashley Owen again as well. I think we weren't 100% sure on Ashley Owen, were we? I think we felt that potentially Winter was better. Yeah, Winter was the guy. Look at that. Just instantly straight over. Speed, aerial, technical, visions. Although ironically not better at defending or attacking. But yeah, Winter was the guy. Although Owen, very, very brave, very composed. You know, good at tackling. I think it's that acceleration that's the worry. I don't think he's a terrible player, actually. And I think they could potentially form a partnership, you know what I mean? I'm as a DM. Do you reckon? The work rate for a DM wouldn't be great. But I don't think it's the worst partnership as a central back pairing, to be honest. You know, Arbroath in the Championship, they want him. Forfar, or in our league, they want him. So yeah, if he's not that expensive, he's better. Look, he's better than what we've got. He's better than Grimmer. You know, if we compare him there. In fact, let's do that. Let's literally compare him with what we've got. So is he better than Grimmer? Actually, no. Physically and in the air, no. He's not better, really. He's only 5'11", though, isn't he? That's the thing, we are a bit heightless over here. Anticipation's 11, which is okay. Work rate's a little bit light. How much wage budget have we got? Loads. We're only spending 7.5. We've got 12.8 still to spend, so we could afford to have him. We could afford to get him in and go for there. You know, more than enough money. Is he better than Connor Allen? Which I guess will be the other question. Marginally better heading. Better tackling again. brave, more better composure, better, more determined. Positioning's not as good. Allen's a bit quicker. Anticipation ever so slightly better. Both technically shit. There is that. Likes big matches though. Could be. And then we've got Harrison as the other option. He's a better defender than Harrison. He's better mentally. He's better attacking. He's definitely better than Harrison, isn't he? Much better. Composure, 13-4. You know? I don't think he's a bad option, to be honest. Let's click continue. Then obviously everyone gets released, so there might be some interesting players that we can go for. Oh, Caddy's work permit's going to be up. That's going to be an issue. This year expire when his contract is up. He's interested, able to secure it. Oof, maybe. He's an international, isn't he? Martinique international, 12 caps. Yeah, he'll be fine. You can get Owen in as a backup, yeah. See how much he's wanting. If he wants something daft, then let's. This is gonna turn it down, isn't he? Yeah. Right. Okay. Not 500 quid. Not 500 quid for a backup. So. Right. Where do we go now? See if this Campbell's available now, shall we? Has he left? Has he left? David Campbell, there he is. What about Partick Thistle? David Campbell, man, stop being like that. Just come to the club, have a look around, see what we've got, and then decide. Don't just decide before you've come and had a look. Like, think about it, right? There you go. Europe transfers. Filter. Nations. Scotland. Is that where we go, is it? Oh, it's released, isn't it? Released players, that's what we want. There we go. Right, let's see if there's anybody that's half decent, shall we? Greg Taylor, these are staff players, staff at the top. No one's retired here. Bailey Peacock Farrell's retired. Right, players are now free. Teo Eden, 35. He doesn't quite fit our philosophy, does he? Calder Silva, 34. Cameron Yates, Ethan Hamilton, Blakey, of course, is one of ours. Scott High, 32. Mark Handy, 31. Davies, Mendes Gomez, 34. We want to kind of be looking for just like decent younger players, really, don't we? If there's a couple of good experienced players, then we'll go in for them, but can't just be straight in like for the 35-year-olds. As much as that upsets me. Morgan Gibbs White, 33. Can't see him coming to us, unfortunately. Ben House, Alfie Doherty, Tyler Burry. I like the fact we're at the part of the game now where like players are starting to, like real life players are starting to retire and move out, so we're definitely getting into the absolute new gen territory now. Marcus Thuram at Celtic. See what Murray suggests. I'll do that first, rather than like sort of scribbling through. Vinny Hosky. Leighton Snowden. Jumping reach is very poor. 5'8". Tranmere. There's always a Tranmere suggestion, isn't there? Errol Renforth. Ooh. He looks half decent. Marking might be, if that's on the shorter side, then it's not great, but okay, interesting. Have a look at Leighton Snowden as well. Esposito, I had him for a testimonial. Did you? Nice. Talon Shepherd. Matt Lewis. 6'1". Former Leighton Orient centre half. Nathan Dingwall. 6'1". In he comes. Where's he been? East Kilbride. Mike McLaughlin. Could be handy. Could be handy. It's Josh Reed, 31. Ali Crawford doesn't quite look like it, does it? Matthew Chelland. No. Ray Fraser. Thomas Wrench, appreciate the follow, very kind. Can't come on trial, fair enough. Kevin Mufwamba. Trial. Get everyone on trials in it. Nobody apparently took over Man City players trying to sign for the club. What do you mean? Thomas Wrench took over Man City players trying to sign for the club. Oh, as in you're Manchester City now. Who do you sign? Oh, mate, you can sign anybody. Like literally anybody. Like, think of a name in world football. You can sign them. Like, you shouldn't be struggling at Man City, surely. Surely. It's got to be impossible, right? Oh, Nisbet left, did he? Interesting. Get him in. Max Rowell left as well. He didn't really set the world alight for us, but And then Mark Young, 25. Right, so we've not got a load of excellent expert signings, but we might have somebody. Quinn Dunlop, Dundee, Calvera, Chavone, Bradley Chavone. Evening, JM. How are you, pal? Welcome. Hope that's treating you good, buddy. Right, let's get those people in, then have a little look and see what's the options. We need a captain as well. I don't know if we've bought the captain yet. To be honest, today's low scoring for me on all accounts. We go again tomorrow. Oh mate, Jam. Scoring is still scoring though, right? That's the main thing. And you're here. That's the main thing, right? So let's just stick with that, okay? As you say, we go again tomorrow. Right. Donald McDonald moving up to club captain. It's a big step up for a man who wasn't really playing much last season, but yeah, why not? Stick him in there. He's got the highest leadership, so Mark Winter's not exactly here yet, so doesn't count. It's gonna have to be, isn't it? It's gonna have to be. Yeah, all good, thank you, James, to be honest. Very, very good. Can't complain. From the farm to the captaincy, what a rise. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing though, like I don't think we've got anybody in the team who's captain material. Do we give it to McBride maybe, because he's always playing, but he's Fife kept the faith. They have absolute fools. But that's what they did. Campbell doesn't want to come. He's determined not to be here. Fine, whatever, you know. That's how it has to be. That's how it has to be, you know. We're probably not going to get Esposito, but let's at least have a look, shall we? Keeping afloat with Friday night comedy clubs. That's why. Yeah, that's a shout. Actually, we could do that. It wasn't Luke Baldwin we were after. It was Montrose, I think it was. Maybe that we had a spy on a player. I think they're in our division, aren't they? Are they in division below again? Where are they? There, well, that's the guy, Kieran Webster. Christian Webster, sorry. Would be fine, but maybe not good enough. We'll have to see. Cammy Logan's a free agent now. Ooh, maybe we can have a chat. Interesting. I mean, he wants to be a star. He wants a lot, doesn't he? He basically just needs to be a star player. So. Right, 600 for you, Cammy. Moved around a lot, thoughts on quitting and applying while in post. We sort of had that as a plan, to be honest, JM, and I was like, no, we have to stay really, and eventually I've convinced myself to do it. We're not going to get. Is Cammy Logan a £600 fullback? He probably is, isn't he? It probably is too much. As much as I want him, it probably is too much. Ryan Duncan. Wanted by Dundee, so we won't be able to get him. Adam Montgomery. Aaron Presley. I mean, big players released, but whether or not it's going to be the right players for us, I'm not sure. What we might have to do though is we might have to look at the time, because it's now much later than I thought it was, because obviously it is, and we've done nothing, absolutely nothing. Because that's how we do stuff around here. Duncan Summers. Right. We're back tomorrow. That's what we are. Let's do that. Okay. What we're gonna do is, this is nice. We just chill out. This has been good fun. Like, you know, get ourselves used to what's going on. It saved us a job tomorrow, basically. Let's send you across to the Honey Badger. I think that's where we should go. If you saw him in the playoffs over the weekend, you will love him. If you haven't seen him before, you'll love him. So do go and give him some love. Yeah, back today, actually. That's a good point. Yeah, we're back in a little bit. So go and have some breakfast, and we'll see you all tomorrow. This has been fun. We're still no further forward, but in a sense, I suppose we are. We'll find out a bit more tomorrow. Right, take it easy, everyone. See you soon. Bye now.
Also, is everyone on vacation, I hope? Sweet. Tony, my man, thank you so much for the raids, sir. Welcome in. We've had all the raids tonight. How are you doing? How's British Steel? How are we doing?
Hello there.
But I'm Chad Rady. Oh, we'll read